Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the Power Angle Pro. Now with the Power Angle Pro, what you're going to see is we've got some lines actually in different locations of the device, and what that's going to do is it's going to show you on-plane conditions as we make our backswing down to the transition, to the impact zone, and all the way to the follow-through. Also, what the Power Angle Pro is going to do is it's going to teach you a proper full turn and also get you some good extension at the top of the backswing. So to start off with, let's go ahead and I've got a golf ball on the ground here. You want to put a golf ball down on the ground for a reference, so that way we have an imaginary target line here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my grip on the Power Angle Pro and set up to it, and I'm going to see this arrow right here pointing at my golf ball, and this arrow right here is either going to be pointing directly at my navel or just left of it, depending on what you're comfortable with there. So we'll take our setup, and from this position right here we're going to move to the takeaway. But let's go ahead and take our setup one more time here so we get a little used to that. So we're going to go ahead and take our grip, set up. I'm going to point this arrow at that golf ball there. I'm going to point this just a little left of my navel, and that's going to be your setup position. All right, now from the setup position, what we're going to do is we're going to move to the takeaway, and we're going to monitor this arrow, and this arrow as we make our takeaway. So I'm going to take my setup again here, and my first movement is I'm going to allow my hips and my shoulders to move together as a unit until I see that this arrow here is parallel to my target line. So it's a real simple movement here, not thinking about a lot of stuff, you know, weight shift and all this kind of stuff. What we want to do is just focus on getting into a good setup position here, and then go ahead and rotate until we see this arrow parallel the target line. We're also going to see this arrow here pointing at our imaginary target line, and this arrow right here is actually going to be just on the inside of the forearm here. So as we start out from our setup position here, we're going to see that it's actually, there's some space right here between the bar and the arrow that comes out and the inside of our left forearm. And as we make the takeaway move, what happens is the right wrist is going to bend back slightly. So as we're looking down from our takeaway position here, we're going to see this reference here parallel to our target line. This one's going to be pointing at the target line, and this one's going to be just on the inside of the left forearm. And that allows us to check and make sure that our right wrist has bent back correctly. Okay? Now, once we get to the takeaway position, what we're going to do is we're going to move on up to a backswing position, and we're going to swing back to about a 3/4 position. So again, I'm going to take my setup. From here, I'm going to make my takeaway, checking my lines here, making sure everything is in line. And from this position here, my hips and my shoulders have turned together. Now what I'm going to do is focus on my upper body, winding to the top of the backswing. And as I get to the top of the backswing, you're going to notice that this bar is going to rest basically on the outside of the bicep here. And that's what's going to give us our width in the backswing. So let's go ahead and take our setup again here. From this position here, I'm going to go ahead and move to the takeaway and check my references here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just carry on up to the top of the backswing. Now once I get to the top of the backswing, I can see this arrow here coming out of the end of the grip is going to be pointing at my target line. And that's going to show me that I'm on plane at the top of my backswing. Now if I got here and had it pointing out this way here, you can see how that'd be rather flat, but it's basically off plane. And then if I brought it up like this here, the same thing, I'd be off plane. So let's go ahead and take it to the top of the backswing again there. Take our setup, move to the takeaway, top of the backswing. Checking all these references as we move through. Okay, let's do it one more time to the top of the backswing. We're going to take our setup, arrows, checking everything, make our takeaway, checking our references. From here, we're going to go to the top of the backswing, making sure that we're on plane there. It's really all you got to look at. It's very simple, and that's all we want to focus with when we're taking it to the top of the backswing.